Well, I'm Melissa Daly and my job role is Education Officer at the Birmingham Repertory Theatre. And that involves me going out to schools and working with young people, facilitating drama workshops, and I'm also a director of some of our young rep groups here at the Rep. Well, a typical week I spend 2 days a week working with our young rep groups. So I'll spend 2 hours with a group of about 15 to 20 young people, and we're working towards a performance at the Birmingham Rep. It's part of our Young Rep Festival, so that's a good chunk of my week. And then I work in a special school, so I work with kids with learning disabilities, and I work towards helping with their communication skills using drama, and we did actually put on a performance with that group of students. It was called Travelling Light, and it was an Arts Connect funded project, and we worked with 12 young people, and they were aged from 19 to 21. All with different learning disabilities, and we created a piece of devised theatre which started on a hired coach, and the audience travelled on the coach with the performers, and then we finished up in the theatre where they did a 20-minute live performance which was all non-verbal, to lots of physical work to music and a lot of mime and storytelling. It's very fun. The arts are important because of the impact that they have on young people. I see it on a daily basis working with all the different groups that I do. We work on lots and lots of different acting skills, and even if they don't want to become artists, so they don't want to end up working in the arts, they work on confidence, it works on team building, it works on really vital communication skills, just so they can go into future life being able to communicate with people. And I think they enjoy it, and there's a lot of joy in taking part in any sort of arts activity that you can't find anywhere else. As a young child, I always attended lots of dance, drama, singing classes, and anything I could go to, I was there. And then at school, I made sure I chose drama as a subject. But in Scotland, it's standard grades and higher that we do, so I managed to achieve both of them. And then I auditioned for a musical theatre course in Glasgow at the age of 16. That was an HND in musical theatre, and I spent 2 years and achieved that. And they helped me prepare to audition for the Liverpool Institute for Performing Arts, where I then spent 3 years working towards a BA Honours in Performing Arts Acting. After I completed my course at LIPA, I was lucky enough to get signed by an agency in London, an acting agency, and I continued for many years to work as a professional actress, which was brilliant and obviously what I'd wanted to do with my life. However, when I didn't have work, I started to facilitate drama workshops myself. So I would lead a drama session for young people, sharing the skills that I'd learned through my training. And over time, I sort of realised that I possibly enjoyed that just as much, if not more, than my acting. And I found myself working full-time as a freelance drama practitioner. And then the job was advertised at the Birmingham Rep to actually work full-time as a drama practitioner, and I jumped at it. And I blame my mother, as she's a drama teacher and an actress herself, so she's always encouraged me and been really enthusiastic about it. And I continue to do what I do mainly because I love it and I enjoy it, and I wake up every day thinking I'm really lucky to do something that I enjoy. But also I never stop learning, and I never stop growing as an artist. So every day, even if I'm out working with young people, I'm learning and they're teaching me. And I think that's really special, and that's not something that everyone can say they get from their job. The first time I got paid for a job in the creative industries was as an actor. And it was a role in a musical called Hedwig and the Angry Inch in Liverpool, and it was for a company called Lodestar Theatre Company. And actually, I'd been signed with an agency for ages, and I'd been to lots and lots of auditions. I'd not been successful in getting anything. And this audition came about by a phone call. I didn't even have to audition, and it was an acting tutor that I'd worked with at LIPA. And he was producing this show, and he remembered me from working with me at LIPA and called me up and offered me the job. I think looking back, I feel really grateful that I worked so hard when I was at drama school, because maybe if I'd not turned up at time for rehearsals, or when he directed me previously I'd not been good to work with, I wouldn't have got that phone call, and it wouldn't have kick-started my career. So I sort of look back and I'm really grateful that he remembers me from that time and that I worked hard enough to be able to be given that opportunity. I continue to find and secure paid work in the sector in many different ways. As an actor, it was really important to have an agent, and I found that was almost crucial from graduating from drama school. Having a good agent, a reputable one, not someone that's charging you money and asking you to pay for things because you shouldn't have to. So checking out the background of an agent is really important. I think being on a website called Spotlight is really important as well. You will get most of the castings for the UK and international jobs on there. Being a member of Equity is also really important because they'll look after you and they'll make sure that you're being looked after as a performer. And something else which is really important is just getting yourself out there. So when you are in drama school, volunteering to be in unpaid short films or taking part in productions just to get the experience. And even when you do graduate, continuing to do that. As a facilitator, it was all about experience. So I, at the beginning, had to do quite a bit of work for maybe not the money that I would expect now, but for me to get the experience in doing that, I had to do it. I would offer to assist on projects, and slowly over time I built a reputation for myself. I follow lots of arts organisations on Twitter. I'm a big person on Twitter. I like following everything that's going on in the arts scene in Birmingham, and I find that really, really useful. So wherever you are, immerse yourself in the local arts scene. I would say my biggest inspiration would have to be my mum. I was fortunate to grow up with a mum who's a drama teacher and also acted herself. And I think it was really important that she understood and she had experience in that field. So she was able to give me really good advice, and not always the advice I wanted. So she was very honest, and she made me realise how difficult the career would be and if I was really willing to put myself up for that. So I always look back and think, thank goodness I had her there to help me make those decisions. The people, with me looking back now, that I can see influenced my career would definitely have to be all of my acting teachers that I've worked with over the years at the Glasgow Academy of Musical Theatre Arts and at the Liverpool Institute for Performing Arts. And I was really inspired because most of my tutors were performers themselves, and that's what they'd started out doing, and they were now sharing their skills with us, and I'd learned lots from lots of different types of people. Now that I've moved into education in the arts, I love people such as Sir Ken Robinson, who's a real inspiration for anyone that's interested in creativity and education. So I'm a big follower of his work. And also fellow actors, directors, practitioners. I think working in the arts, you meet people that are passionate about what they do, and everyone in the theatre, you're surrounded by people that love what they do, and that's a great inspiration every day. The top 3 pieces of advice that I would give to young people when trying to find work in the creative sector. Number 1 would be getting really as involved as you can in your local art scene. I think you need to know exactly what's going on. You need to be following people on social network. You need to be attending networking events. You need to be checking out internships, work placements, anything that's going to give you that foot in the door at an arts organisation. And there's lots out there. You just need to get yourself involved, and that will sort of move on to different things from there. Number 2 would be, I think, identifying your strengths and your weaknesses. I think you need to work out what it is you're really good at, and you need to build on that. And you also need to be aware of your weaknesses and play to your strengths. So maybe you're really, really skilled at Shakespeare, but you're not so good at devising theatre, so you then invest the time into really building on your Shakespeare work. But yeah, I think being aware of those things are important. And number 3, I think just working on your people skills in general. I think you're in an industry where you're constantly going to be meeting people. You're always kind of selling yourself. It's not like you have a job interview and then you're in that job for 10 years. You're constantly looking for the next job. So I think meeting new people and learning how to interact with people and how to get to know people will really, really do you some good.